कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Good evening, Fiji. In this bulletin, genuine care from Fiji for UN. Kava shops warned about drug peddling. And Lami residents take heed over missing cases.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
Fiji's contribution to the United Nations has been driven by genuine care for those less fortunate than ourselves. These were the sentiments shared by Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama while speaking at the UN General Assembly's 75th anniversary. He says the long-standing relationship continues and will continue to flourish. Lena Rees has more.
Happy 75th anniversary, UN.
Fiji's contribution to the UN can be seen through the Fijian peacekeepers who have defended the defenseless in the world's most conflict-ridden regions. The Prime Minister adds that Fiji is also driven by an uncompromising passion for the protection of our natural world.
Our oceans diplomacy spearheaded the United Nations Law of the Sea, of which Fiji was the first signatory. Today, we light the way towards the sustainable management of the ocean and its resources. Fiji was the first country to ratify the Paris Agreement, as well as the first small island state to lead the climate negotiations as president of COP23.
Bainimarama also touched on the growing challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic.
But in the face of new and terrifying challenges, we and other developing nations are forced to watch social progress, hard-earned over decades, slip through our collective fingers. Months into economically devastating lockdowns and border closures, a COVID-19 vaccine is still only guaranteed for those who can afford it.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says he can still recall the optimism and sense among our people that Fiji had something good to give the world when we joined the UN Assembly 3 days after gaining independence in October 1970. Lena Rees, FBC News.
Some kava stores are under the radar for possible drug peddling points, and this has prompted the local government ministry to engage with police. Minister Pramila Kumar says while working on improving markets and spaces for vendors, illegal issues have surfaced, and it's something municipalities are trying to eradicate. Kelly Vadala reports.
I'm not saying all, some of them.
Some cover shacks along roadsides have become selling points for drugs.
From the information that we have gathered, and the Fiji police force is also aware that there are some drug peddlers. They're peddling drugs from some of these stalls.
Minister Kumar says police have been notified and stalls are under watch.
This is why the municipal councils are now working with the Fiji police force, because some of these stall holders, I'm not saying all, some of them at night when they're selling kava, they're also selling drugs.
Vendors along the Suva-Nosori corridor have come across a few instances of such illegal activity, which sometimes they say affects their business.
The council has agreed for many to sell drug publicly, so the least they can do is keep out of selling drugs.
Most of us vendors bring our children to help out in selling our produce, so I wouldn't want any of those illegal practice around them.
These vendors are spoiling our opportunities.
One trader, Fiji Kava, says while many people have turned to selling kava during this difficult time, but they should not be used for illegal activities.
We've seen and heard a lot of stories about small kava shacks selling their own grog or kava. Some of them are short-lived because they don't know, they're not familiar in terms of how to process their kava.
The ministry is urging vendors to report any criminal activity happening near them to the relevant authorities and not take advantage of the situation at hand. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
A lot has changed for the good for residents of Kalakana in Lami, 9 months after 3-year-old Tale Raikandroka went missing. FBC News visited Kalakana today to look into a report of a missing 15-year-old lodged to police over the weekend. However, he is safe and sound at home. Apanisa Wangarandova reports elders in the area are more wary now as they do not want a repeat of the incident.
66-year-old Arieta Wakasingaleka says the report made over the weekend was out of concern as they do not want another incident of missing persons.
When Raikon Roka went missing, we had to take extra care of our children. I had 2 grandchildren and I don't let them out easily. And also we have to look out for other children in this community.
Wakasingaleka says the community was relieved when Chiochimbale, who was reported missing, returns home.
When Bale's mom came home, she found out that his son was missing. So out of concern, she had to lodge a report. Luckily, Mbale was with my two grandchildren in Rewai, and they are all here to spend the holiday.
Behind me is Raikon Roka's home. Since she went missing late last year, this community has been on high alert in terms of the whereabouts of their children.
Now whenever we see them loitering around after school or just any time we had to send them to their homes, we've made it our responsibility to look out for all the children in the community to prevent any future incident.
Police have confirmed the case for Raikon Roka is still open. Elders in the community also told FBC News that children are now restricted from going swimming to a nearby waterfall or volunteer to tour visitors who hike Mount Korombamba. Apinisawangarandobu, FBC News.
A biography written by former United States Ambassador to Fiji, Osman Sadiq, has revealed details about the 2000 coup, making specific mention of certain key players. One man who was mentioned repeatedly is opposition leader Sitiveni Rambuka. Edwin Nunn reports Rambuka isn't too pleased with how he is reflected in the book.
In this book, Osman Sadiq infers that he was suspicious of Sitiveni Rambuka's involvement in the 2000 coup after hearing of activities between him, former military officers and tribal leaders.
Without my knowledge, they did a cross-bay amphibious exercise and landed on my estate without my knowledge.
Sadiq tells of his meeting with Rambuka a day after the takeover of parliament in 2000. Walking into the US envoy's office, Sadiq describes how Rambuka raised his hands and said, quote, "Not guilty, I didn't do it," unquote. However, Sadiq says he took the former coup leader's assurances with a grain of salt and kept tabs on his movement.
They put together their own views of what might have happened. So it is said that such a person of his caliber and status has put that in a book because many people will believe that, and with no opportunity given to anybody to correct it.
The book also tells of how Rambuka approached the US Embassy, asking to be Fiji's next representative to the United States.
What happened is that I was told, you have been nominated, and then I was told, you are not going.
The irony in this instance is that Osman Sadiq's appointment as US ambassador to Fiji almost did not happen. The Rambuka-led government of 1998 had reservations about Sadiq's ethnicity. He is both Bangladeshi and a Muslim. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Up ahead, resident given police assurance. And 50th anniversary brings back memories for Sahib.
मैं टोटली दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
The River Road residents in Nursery claim that police officers are not attending to cases that occur in and around that area. Residents President Leone Rocco claims that when they report cases such as theft, pickpocketing and others, police say they cannot deal with cases in squatter settlements. Sanyani Boiler has the details.
River Road in Nursery is just meters away from the nearest police station. However, some residents claim police hardly attend to cases that happen in the area.
If someone steals here, the police will never take action. They said it's a squatter and they cannot deal with cases that happened in this place. Cases of pickpocket, grab and run. Police will never attend to these cases.
Rocco also claims that police only visit the area if the residents collectively raise the issue.
We have cases of grab and run, but police never attend to these cases. They will come only if the resident committee raises the issue, then they will come and investigate these cases.
Police Chief of Operations, ACP Abdul Khan, has disputed this and in a statement says no officer should be giving any excuses for not attending to a report, and if found doing so, they will be taken through the internal disciplinary processes. ACP Khan says they visited the residents last week and have urged them to call police directly and lodge an official complaint if any officer of the law fails to deal with issues, and this will be investigated. Sainian Imboila, FBC News.
Residents of Luvu in Lautoka will soon not have to constantly worry about coastal erosion that has been eating away their land. This following the commissioning of the new mangrove nursery in the area. The nursery provided by the Ministry of Environment is an affirmation of the government's commitment towards protecting coastal communities from harsh impacts of climate change. Koroi Tandulala reports.
The Ministry of Environment has implemented some hard infrastructure interventions despite the high cost involved.
Our effort to use the very fundamental and foundations of nature to protect our infrastructure, our coastal community by building resilience amongst the coastal area. And mangroves is one such plant species that we are trying to develop and then work with the community to build and expand the stock of mangrove.
The ministry says that mangrove, the main nature-based solution in addressing coastal erosion, is also under threat due to human activities.
We've told that people have to stop, and we've also said we've established neighborhood networks where they will inform us of any burning.
We are now calling upon the communities in Fiji, whoever need mangrove seedlings to plant in their area, we are offering to provide seedling at their doorstep at no cost to them.
The ministry is now putting its National Adaptation Plan and National Development Plan policy into tangible actions and are committed to protecting vulnerable Fijians from coastal inundation and erosion. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
The Suva City Council, in partnership with the Suva Retailers Association, will be having a Suva on sale from October 5th until Fiji Day. Suva Retailers Association President Vinay Kumar says the sale aims to create a more festive atmosphere leading up to the Fiji Day celebration and to ensure economic activity within the CBD area. Kumar says they are also planning to honour those businesses that have been in operation for over 50 years in our capital city.
We'll also be having the competition for the best display shop and also some other competition.
There are the events that will coincide with this to ensure that we all celebrate the independence.
Fiji embarked into a new phase on 10th October 1970. It is a significant day for every Fijian, including Hussein Sahib, who was then a 16-year-old student. Sahib has many colourful childhood memories associated with Independence Day, and while sharing his memories, he says that as a child, the excitement was different. Kritika Kumar reports.
I pray for God. Independence Day was a momentous occasion for all Fijians, and as a school student, Hussein Sahib always looked forward to any celebration, especially during the colonial era when they used to have sports on the session day.
It was more of the occasion, celebration. But during the celebration, then you come to realize, that. You are no longer, attached, to other, governments, and you become independent and you got, rights.
Sahib was in Lambasa during the independence and says in every celebration, everybody got involved. He adds it was a week-long celebration with all different kinds of activities.
I was part of the, school hockey team. I think probably that's the only time when hockey was played at Super Park, the only time I think, and we played against the service team, our school teachers in the opposition and some civil servants, so it was, for me, to be in that celebration, to be part of, the celebration was something that I cherish, till now.
He says Fiji has grown significantly in post-independence and will continue to evolve in years to come.
Suva has changed, tremendously. It's big change. You go to Nasinu, there were no houses on the left side. They were all farms. Now it's just houses. So it's a big, big change.
Sahib, who is proud to be part of the history, intends to organize a five-a-side soccer tournament in Tavua to mark the Independence Day. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
And Whitney joins us now with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up in business tonight, rice import stats high. And in growing Fiji, passion turns to business for Nandi Baba. Stay with us.
Pula nadang ko apros lang kerse, ko erkraki. Do televizio no barong na Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibit.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibit.
84% of rice consumed in Fiji annually is imported. Agricultural Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says the ministry is investing in rice to help reduce the import cost. Dr. Reddy says the ministry is putting in place incentives and other planting materials to help farmers expand. Only 16% of the rice that is consumed annually is produced locally.
So those who are at least growing sugarcane, allocate at least 1 acre for rice production for your own consumption. And we are providing planting material, whether it's rice, undalo, or cassava, duruka, or chilies, or whatever, free at no cost to you, which you will return to us in 3 years' time.
Shell is looking to slash up to 40% of the cost of producing oil and gas in a major drive to save cash. This so it can overhaul its business and focus more on renewable energy and power markets.
With pressure on energy giants to go green, Royal Dutch Shell is thinking big about costs. Sources say it's looking to slash up to 40% of the cost of producing oil and gas. They say the major cash-saving drive will allow it to focus more on renewable energy and power markets. The restructuring, known internally as Project Reshape, will reportedly affect its main divisions. And any savings will come on top of a $4 billion target set in the wake of the COVID-19 crisis. Reducing costs is vital for Shell's plans to move into the power sector and renewables, where margins are relatively low. Competition is likely to intensify, with rival firms including BP and Total all battling for market share as global economies go green. A senior Shell source who declined to be named told Reuters, "We had a great model, but is it right for the future? There will be differences. This is not just about structure, but culture and about the type of company we want to be." Sources added that Shell wants to focus its oil and gas production on just a few key hubs, including the Gulf of Mexico, Nigeria and the North Sea. The company's integrated gas division is also thought to be looking at deep cuts. Shell's network of 45,000 service stations, the world's biggest, may also see cuts. The review, which company sources say is the largest in the firm's modern history, is expected to be completed by the end of the year.
We now join Sunifa from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Let's look at the latest in the forex markets. The offered tone around the Aussie dollar strengthened today after Reserve Bank of Australia's Deputy Governor said a weaker Aussie dollar would be beneficial for the Australian economy. She also mentioned lower cash rates and negative rates as other options and added that the economy is currently seeing a gradual and uneven recovery. Meanwhile, a resurgent US dollar held on to overnight gains today after virus fears and worries about US stimulus drove a wave of selling in just about everything else. The dollar rose 0.6% against the euro, 0.9% against the Aussie, and even made gains against the safe haven currencies of the Japanese yen and Swiss franc. Investors are bracing for an extended period of market volatility as worries over a potential resurgence in coronavirus cases and political uncertainty roil stocks. That's all from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Looking at today's local exchange rates as set early this morning. A mixed day for our currency. It slipped against the Chinese yuan, US dollar, the kina and the yen. Commodity prices were down all around. The oil price went from $41 per barrel yesterday to $39.57. Gold was at $1,906 per ounce and silver ended at $24.50 an ounce. An 18-year-old's passion for cutting hair has seen him open a barber shop in Matintar, Nandi, even during this difficult time. Look at the groomer Thompson has been interested in hair dressing since the age of 10, cutting hair for his family and friends. More from Felipe Nakaso.
He dropped out of high school to chase his dream and did not give up until it was a reality.
I decided to open up this my shop in this kind of corona times just to gauge my faith, just to step out, knowing that if I'm able to endure and last in these hard times, when things get back to normal, it'll be smooth and things will get easy.
Starting up his own barbershop hasn't been easy, but the support from his parents and friends have been crucial.
It came to a point that he told us that he just wanted to cut hair. That gave me a revelation about how we parents should raise up our children. So we had a big disagreement with that because we really wanted him, so we sat down and we have a discussion. And I told him that, okay, if this is the direction that you want to go to, then we will have to send you to a place where you can be educated in this field.
The past few years, Thompson has been cutting hair at a few local salons in Nandi and even went overseas to learn the trade.
I give all my heart in, and just to the young youths out there, that you dropping out of school, that's not your last hope. Whatever your heart encourages you to do it with all your heart and give praises to Him, to God, and He will surely direct your path.
The plan now for Thompson is to open up a few more Look at the Groomer barbershops around the country. Felipe Nakaso, FBC News.
And that's it from Business Tonight. We now join Jamie with the latest in sports.
Thank you, Whitney, and good evening in Sports Tonight. Champs ready to defend Mara's title. And more women interested in football refereeing. This and more coming up.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Defending Fiji Betamara Sevens champions, Police blew her out for nothing less than to retain their title this weekend, but they accept it won't be a walk in the park. The side is drawn in a tough pool with Jerutuai's Barbarian Brothers, ZNS Barbecue Yamadhia and Vanua level-based club Naviavia Gladiators. The group has already been nicknamed the Pool of Olympic Opportunity, where the best of the best go head-to-head right from the pool stage. Tali Materakula has more.
Aware of the challenges that awaits, team manager Sakea Simoli says it's match by match for the Nosova Brigade.
We cannot afford to underestimate any team. Every team that comes into this tournament, or any other tournament, for that matter, they all come prepared. They all come prepared. Likewise, us. So we cannot afford to underestimate any team in our pool and also the elimination round. So we will treat each game as a final.
Come what may, Molly adds the team knows what is expected of them.
As always, it's very easy to challenge rather than defend. And the boys knows that very well. And yes, we are ready to defend our title again.
With the top performing teams grouped together in the same pool, organizers say only the best will survive.
So it is a pool of death, what we call it a pool of Olympic opportunity, because those that perform there, and I'm sure Gareth Baber will be very, very tentatively looking at those pools. A lot of anticipation on the results.
Police Blues will meet the Barbarian Brothers in their first pool match on Friday at 9:52 a.m. at Bidesi Park.
The 44th Fiji Beta Murray Sevens tournament kicks off on Thursday at the ANZ Stadium. Tali Materkula, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Bitamara Sevens is synonymous with uncovering the next big star of Fijian Sevens, leaving many wondering who will it be this year. One player many will follow closely is impressive 20-year-old Suva flanker Taniela Sandrungu. The youngster is part of Jerituai's Barbarian Brothers. Aquila Dama has more.
It's not every day you get a message from the national sevens coach and an Olympic gold medalist to try something different.
I was just playing my part in the 15s, just doing my best, and got a shock that I got a call from Jerry Toy and be able to try out the Mari 7. So this is my first time for the Mari 7. I'm so excited and I'm well prepared.
Sandrungu didn't think twice about the opportunity. However, he says he last played sevens a year ago for the Nambua club. Even world seven star Tuai believes Sandrungu is one of the exciting young talents in the side.
But we're helping lives, we're helping a lot of boys with extraordinary talent that not just can help their family, but can bring glory to Fiji as a whole. This team is made up of very young boys and players, not just from Sua, but from around Fiji.
Tuai, Sandrungu and the Barbarian Brothers will play defending champions Police Blue at 9:52 a.m. on Friday in their first match. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
The Ahmadiyya Sevens side is not intimidated by the pool they've been drawn in for the 44th Fiji Bitamara Sevens. The Nandi-based team is pooled alongside Barbarian Brothers, a team made up of Fiji 7 squad members, defending champions Police Blue and newcomers Nabiabia Gladiators. Laced with Fiji 7's reps and brothers Sebuloni Modenatangi, Isoa Tambu and Kabikini Tambu, Ahmadiyya will be out to start on a high this Friday.
I think it's one of, we can say, pool of death. And I guess all we can say is that we'll see on Friday how the outcome will be. And hopefully the best team will come out firing on that day.
The Fiji Football Association hopes to have more women taking up referees courses in the country. This follows the successful futsal referees workshop organized by the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Fiji FA in Lambasa. Aquila Dama with the details.
There is not many female football referees in the country, but with more workshops like this one in Lambasa, that may just change.
And it have encouraged me to take part in this workshop, to gain more knowledge on sports and to be a woman referee, and it has boosted me a lot.
For mother of two, Swastika Sagar, she wants to make a difference in the sport.
For me, it is very, very glad to be here because as a lady, we can see very less lady doing the referee in futsal.
The Fiji FA is encouraged to see more women interested in match officiating courses.
We try to also train women referees. We give them the best shot so they can control women games. And I'm quite happy to have these 20 participants here in this course. We are about 6 or 8 of them were the ladies.
Varman says if taken seriously, some of these participants can even make a career out of refereeing.
What are the benefits of refereeing, not only in the local scene, in the OFC, but if they grow up to the FIFA level, they know how much they get and how they can earn the living and how also they can build themselves character-wise, self-discipline, and not only that, they can earn money through refereeing.
This is also a good sign of having an equal playing field in the country. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Manchester City held off a second-half Wolves fight back to begin their quest to regain the English Premier League title with a 3-1 win this morning. In play of the day, a Sevu Reece hat-trick powered Tasman Mako to a bonus point win over Northland in the opening match of round 2 of the Mitre 10 Cup. That's it from Sports Tonight. Coming up in new media, TikTok ownership battle rages on. Find out more after the break.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Angie joins us now with the latest in weather.
Good evening and welcome to the weather world. A showery day for many, something we're not too fond of, but little showers are good at times. We're also a bit away from the weekend, so this weather shouldn't dampen the spirits, although it might have spoiled your outdoor wedding or birthday photo shoot. Now moving on to the other centers. In the west, lower clouds with nice cool temperatures. Rain is hovering through. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, rain was and will stay on for longer. And up north, rainy picture painted here. At sea, southeast winds 25 to 30 knots, may even get up to 35 knots. Turning to the tides, high tide at 10:35 p.m. with low tide at 5:03 a.m. Sunrise will be at 5:55. For tomorrow, more of those persistent showers heading towards us, but won't be around for too long. Tomorrow's temps, Suva will be cool at 29 degrees. And looking further on to Thursday, clear slots is what I see, flattering and stable clouds in the weather picture. Well, that is all from this end. Jackie is with you next.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse, we asked, why do you think Fijians are not abiding with anti-litter laws?
Some of the people here, they educate, but they don't follow the rule. That's what I mean.
I think it is best if the local town councils can raise awareness on the Litter Act to their town dwellers.
They know it very well, what is littering means, and they ignore it.
Most of them are aware of the laws, but I think they are just lazy to put their rubbish properly.
And babies do enjoy doing some of the most unusual things. In the world of the weird and the wonderful, this baby got to walk around the top of a mountain with his dad. Recapping the main stories for tonight, genuine care from Fiji for UN. Kava shops warned about drug peddling, and Lami residents take heed over missing cases. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question we're asking, should more road humps be put in place to curb the growing number of road accidents? Visit our FBC website to answer. And on to our shot of the day. This was sent in by Leds Vunde, who captured this over the weekend. And send us newsworthy pictures to email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News, and our Twitter page at FBC_news. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow, from the team and I, stay safe, stay warm and dry. Bye for now.
Baik tu dia jadi berapa tahu रेडियो फिजी बहुत रेडियो फिजी रोज सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।